I'm Barak Yahweh Barakatha, Yahushua, Barak Yahweh Barakatha, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders. Salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and in sincerity. Lesson will be entitled Provision of Food. Source Natural News. Article entitled Food Inflation Hits 40% as CPI Explodes. Inflation reaches catastrophic 40-year high as Biden puts America on the path of Sri Lanka. Published October 13th, 2022. Food inflation is exploding as much as 40% year over year for fresh and dry vegetables, while today's CPI number is deemed a catastrophe for the Biden administration and its disastrous economic failures. On Wednesday, the PPI Producer Price Index rose 0.4% for the month, twice the expected amount, and today's CPI print reveals a shocking 8.2% year-over-year inflation rate, the highest in 40 years. The highest price increases are being seen in food, airfare, natural gas, health insurance, and public transportation. Butter is up 32.2%, and eggs are up 30.5%. A Breitbart news story reveals more shocking numbers. Note the nearly 16% increase in vegetable prices in just 1 month. Fresh and dry vegetables up 15.7% for the month and 40.2% for the year. Grains up 10.7% for the month and 30.4% for the year. Fresh eggs up 16.7% for the month and 97.3% for the year. Bakery products up 0.8% for the month and 14.0% for the year. Pasta up 1.1% for the month and 34.1% for the year. This is, of course, exactly what happens when a tyrannical, economically illiterate government wages war on food, farmers, and fertilizer, while engaging in insane levels of money printing that accelerate the collapse of the value of the dollar. Understand that inflation isn't even the right word for this. It should rightly be called central bank theft from the people, because that's largely where this phenomenon comes from. Except in this case, there are also fundamental food shortages at play which have been engineered into the system to cause scarcity and famine. So we really have a combination of a central bank financial cartel looting everybody's currency and a criminal, illegitimate government that's actively destroying the energy infrastructure that's necessary for fertilizer and farming. The end result is, of course, entirely predictable: widespread starvation and an eventual mass uprising across America as people can no longer afford to eat. And this is all engineered by the Edomites, the nobility of Edom. Okay? The so-called government is bought and paid for. They do the bidding for the elite. Point blank period. All right? And Yahweh Bashem, Yahushua, has given them this authority. Case in point. Romans 13 and verse 1. Let every soul, meaning everyone, be subject unto the higher powers. The higher powers are the wicked, spoken of in Job 9 and 24. And the wicked is identified in Malachi 1 and 4 as the nation of Edom, beginning with their nobility. Nobility means what? Highborn. hence the international bankers. Beginning with the Rothschilds, they control this entire system. Okay? For there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be, meaning the powers that are established, are ordained of the Most High. Remember, the Most High rules in the kingdom of men, and that is spoken of in Daniel chapter 4 and verse 17. Okay? Revelation 13 and 11. And I, referring to John the Revelator, beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, referring to America. And he had two horns like a lamb. These two horns are a representation for the Democrats and the Republicans. Both parties make it seem like they are doing the bidding for the American people. However, they are bought and paid for. Okay? Hence, lamb. And he spoke as a dragon going into their legislation. All right? The laws they put upon the people. These draconian, harsh laws. Okay? Again, they are doing the bidding for the elite bankers. Remember, Kennedy said that there was a shadow government that is controlling the entire world, and his plan was to expose them. Okay. A major key point. Except in this case, there are also fundamental food shortages at play which have been engineered into the system to cause scarcity and famine. Why? Why are the elite doing this? Revelation 12 and 12, therefore rejoice, you heavens, right? You heavens, talking about those that are in the spiritual realm, all right? So Yahweh Shai, all right? The prophets, all right, are rejoicing. The angels are rejoicing. Why? Because Esau's rulership is coming to an end, and you that dwell in them, all right? Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he know that he has but a short time to accomplish something. And that answer is spoken of in Job 5 and 11. Salakia 12. He disappoint the devices of the crafty. Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, will disappoint the device of the crafty. Okay? Creating scarcity and famine, okay, is a device of the crafty. The end result is, of course, entirely predictable: widespread starvation and an eventual mass uprising across America as people can no longer afford to eat. Why? Because Esau wants total control over the people, and controlling the water, energy, okay, and food and money, okay, gives him that control. He disappoints the devices of the crafty so that their hands, meaning control, cannot perform their enterprise going into the NWO. Genesis 25 and verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau, all right, now Esau is the progenitor of so-called white people based on the lineage of their fathers, was a cunning hunter, okay? This game plan, okay, such as the end result is, of course, entirely predictable: widespread starvation and an eventual mass uprising across America as people can no longer afford to eat. This is a technique of a cunning hunter, okay? Cunning, according to the Hebrew, Strong's H 30 and 45, pronounced as Yada I, or Yad I, which means what? To know, to perceive, to discern, to acknowledge. All right, so in order to be cunning, all right, you have to understand both sides. All right, now, hunter in the Hebrew is Strong's H 67 and 18, pronounced as Taza Yad, which means what? Provision. Provision means what? To provide. Food supply. To provide food supply. Okay? And the reason why Esau wants to be the only one or in control of the food supply for control, going into an objective within the NWO. Okay? These famines, okay, are engineered by Esau. And Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushua, is giving him the might to do so. Why? Because we are within Esau's blessing, although we are in the end of Esau's blessing, going into his rulership. Lord will you edify. Shalom.